All right, let's do this before I get too tired. So, start with gold. Gold settled up $13.83.3%. Not great. I mean, it's a relative to where it was. That's a weak bounce. It's also a second settlement under the 10 MA, which has been broad support for a while now. Um, I will say the daily candle isn't black because we settled $6 above the open. But yeah, that's a weak bounce. And kind of I still think we're probably gonna test the 50-day 41.75. That's 170 odd dollars down. No, especially daily momentum on the daily momentum has turned negative. Probably gonna tick lower into next week. And in theory, we could tick down for a couple of weeks into mid-January. I mean, that would really put gold oversold like it was in early November. And of course, eventually it built up some momentum and broke up and away again. So this is just you know, burning off overbought conditions. Let's jump to silver, commodity silver. So yes, commodity silver was up $4.44, 6.1%, 76.59. So we're still actually this is notable. I didn't notice this until well, just now. So Stock Charts has updated its data. It does register a new historic high yesterday of 83.62, and that candle now is looking borderline bearish engulfing. So and yeah, today was up 6%, but you know you could even argue it's just a 50% retrace bounce of that drop. Daily momentum is flatlining on the very high side. We're on the high end. I mean, really, silver should silver should be cooling off for a couple of weeks. I mean, I wouldn't short it. I'm sure no, I'm not going to short it, but neither am I. I'm not interested in buying it right now. I could have bought it yesterday and it would have made for quite a good gain. But I got to think when this one loses the 10 of May, it could easily fall to back test to test the 50-day, and that's all the way down at 56. So we're talking about maybe $20 downside here between now and say, mid late January. And that would just make for a retrace. I did say a few days ago, maybe it was at the weekend, I guess. I am suspicious that we will never see sub $50 silver ever again. That's a crazy bold notion, but you know, after being stuck for 45 years under 50, in theory, if we do see a multi-week down wave, $50 should be act as new support. Moving on. Miners GDX, which I often forget to highlight. Uh, the opening was 88.05, close to 86.84. Yeah, that is a black candle. That's bearish for tomorrow. A lot of the miners, a lot of the miners saw individual black candles today. Let's go through a couple of them. So Agnico Eagle, black candle. Momentum's got to turn negative in theory on Wednesday. Barrick, black candle. Momentum is still increasingly negative. So this really does look short-term maxed out. What else? Pan American Silver. Yeah, look at that black candle. So it was up, but momentum. Look at that momentum settled at 0.004. It's going to turn negative at the Wednesday open. And again, look at this. We're on the crazy high side. So look, I said it yesterday. I'll repeat it again. There was your buy signal right there. Positive MACD cross early November, back when it was around 33, 34. And looks like tomorrow we'll see a sell signal and we're around 52. So, you'd be buying now and selling around here. This is not buying land, right? This is um this is sell side territory. Anything else? Not in the minors. What else do I want to highlight today? I will show my little hourly chart. I might even highlight N today with this, but look at this. Today's price action very subdued. We had a trading range 20 points wide. This is a bear flag spanning 2 days. The closing hour candle was a fractional break of the flag. In theory, I think we're going to go down to orange gap tomorrow. We could even fully fill it, but ideally we come down to maybe 68.50. That's only like 40, 45 points down. That's doable tomorrow before year end. You could even argue it would be on the justification of tax related selling. People, mostly just people cashing in gains, and not particularly bearish selling, just tax related. So yeah, it's a bear flag. In theory, it should be down tomorrow. Again, not much, barely, 30, 40 points, moderate declines. What else? We know the VIX is dead, right? VIX is dead. It's just pointless trade. Any interesting ones to highlight? I guess Deckers. Yeah, Deckers was up today. Deckers was up 1.3%. Look at that. Actually, so it settled at 105.03 for 200 days, 105.16. We are on the edge of a bullish breakout. And look, it was 97. It was 97 last week. So it's already up. It's already up $8 from the low. Next target is 125 and then 150. I'm not going to be buying Deckers, but I will be I'm an interested buyer in Nike. Nike settled down 2 cents at 61.19. I am open to the notion that it comes back down to tag red gap. I mean, I would be surprised if it does it tomorrow, but it's possible on a stretch. It would need to be down $2, which is roughly 3.5%. I'm struggling to see that happening, but um, especially on a New Year's Eve trading day. But it could be down tomorrow briefly. I mean, I'm hoping it's going to be down because I want to be buying. I want to buy it. I think 56.99 is a kilo, and sometimes these gaps don't get filled. But I think we're going to be down in the morning, so I think I might be able to buy Nike around $60 evens. So I like Deckers, I like Nike, and on a I'll skip that, keep it for later, for other people. It's got to highlight something else, but I'll leave it. What else? Oh, Netflix, I guess, but really, that was down 0.4. Price action's pretty tedious, right? Chop, chop, chop. It doesn't look good on a monthly chart. I mean, that's not great. Disney Mouse. It's almost tagged, almost filled. Teal gap. Look at where it bounced from yellow gap, the 101s. So it's up like 13% in the last 4.5 weeks. It's a pretty good run. What else? I guess United Health merits a mention. Yeah, that settled up almost 1%. 332. Again, it's very similar to Deckers in a way, uh, and GPS, sort of. But yeah, look for a break above a 200 day. It doesn't have to do it for another couple of weeks, but when it does break above there, off we go. 472 would be the obvious target. And UPS, which is my primary target, down 4 cents, 99.64. You know, if the main market's down a little bit tomorrow, maybe we'll see, I guess, 98s. I mean, I would say the 50-day maybe next week. You could maybe get to the 50-day next week, but that's going to be difficult. My issue is when it breaks when it breaks above 103, let's just run out 103. Off we go. Target will be 120 to 125. And there is a gap to 125 from January. So, it'd be interesting to see if it took an entire year from that earnings gap down, and maybe this coming late January, early Feb, when the earnings come out again, is it going to be finally able to retrace to that gap? That is a magnet gap. It looks pretty good in my view. But you need to clearly you need to break above 102, 103 to be decisive. It's not difficult. I mean, you could even argue this is just a bull flag on a daily, but yeah, needs to break above there, and I am looking to buy. I think it's got to break up and away. I want to be on board. I might be wrong. What's to say about Bitcoin? Don't care. What did copper do today? Copper was up 18 cents. Yeah, because silver was up. Copper generally is, it's got to follow most of the time. Like oil. I mean, the oil's down a little bit. I mean, look, apart from this drama in June, I forget what that was about. But we're still putting in a series of lower highs, lower lows. I mean, you got to think if the 54s don't hold, then the next target is $50. We haven't seen $50 since what? Look at that. We haven't seen $50 oil since January of 2021. I was gonna say that was, basically almost five full years ago. Scary. Anything else? Not really. I guess you could say, look, we have one trading day left of the year. Silver's up wow. Silver's up 165%. Gold's up 65%. Copper's up 43. S&P 17. TLT bonds up 5. Oil's down 19%. Again, cheap oil is a very bullish thing for the global economy. That's a good thing for everybody apart from the oil producers. But I will note that Exxon, yeah, I didn't highlight Exxon, which I could because I think it did break a new historic high today. Yeah, I mean Exxon new historic high, 121.80. Today's candle is actually a black doji, so that leans bearish for Wednesday. But still, new historic high, and that's impressive considering oil prices. You gotta like Exxon on a long-term basis. A few miscellaneous things. We had Rocket Lab up 0.5%, but that's a black candle, short-term bearish. Again, on a cyclical basis, Rocket Lab is on the high end. Look at this. High, high, high. Also, today's volume was a little bit above uh, the past few days, so you could argue there's some sellers coming. You could argue structure's a bull flag, but that's a black candle, and maybe we come down to the 50-day. Go to like Rocket Lab all the way into the SpaceX IPO. That's to me, this is just obvious. It's like this is straightforward. If SpaceX IPO is going to be a monstrously bullish variable next summer, I'm guessing they're going to do the listing or the IPO in September. Could be earlier than that. It could be July, August, but I'm guessing it will be September. Hopefully under the ticker Mars. I should end actually, considering we have one trading day left of the year, I'll end with the S&P chart. So we're currently at 47 points on the month, 0.7%, 68.96. It's possible we might actually settle net low for the month, but I'm guessing we don't. I think we're going to be down maybe 30, 40 points in the morning, but it's been a bullish year, right? I mean, look, where did last year close? December's close last year was 58.81. Yeah, 58.81. And of course we dropped to 48.35. But that's an impressive recovery, right? 48.35 to 69.20. Actually 69.45 this month. We did actually break a new historic high last week. Yeah. It ain't bearish, is it? And I got to think there's a fair chance that we're now going to see 8K by next September with the SpaceX IPO. That's only It's only 1,000 points up or so. It's not that bold. Now clearly the only concern is would be a wild card event, but the market's been shrugging them off for years. Yeah. So let's see what happens tomorrow. I wouldn't expect much. A little bit weakness. Arguably some people will be buying. Silver gold in theory should be down, along with the miners, especially in the morning. Yeah. The year is soon to settle. I wish you a good evening and catch you tomorrow.